Everywhere don scatter, guys. Obasanjo don finally endorse Peter Obi. He said that Peter Obi be the main man. That be the man for the game. We go fit fix Naija. Forget say Peter Obi na Igbo or what. This one not concern Igbo or no Igbo. If you look among all the whole governors, no governor don come outside stand boldly say he never thief Nigeria money. He even leave money before he comot. No governor don come outside for Naija history come talk that wetin Peter Obi dey talk. Nobody don come boldly. No governor don come outside boldly come speak like that. So that man na real man. Person wey do like that, that's mean that man get sense. So Peter Obi na be the main man. Obasanjo don endorse am. He say na be the main man for the game. And once again, we can also knock another bombshell. We go knock about another bombshell about Obasanjo and Atiku. So more than just watch. Now Peter Obi be the main man. More than let me share the video.
Well, let's continue what's trending with reactions trailing the endorsement of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, by Nigeria's former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, ahead of the 2023 general election. Obasanjo made the endorsement on Sunday in his New Year message to Nigerians. He urged young people to be more deliberate about the choices they make, using the phrase, "Ẹ̀yin ló kàn," meaning it's your turn, adding that the power to change is in their hands and that the 2023 elections should not be taken for granted. In the meantime, the Presidential Campaign Council of the APC described Obasanjo's endorsement of Peter Obi as worthless, adding that the former president hardly has strong electoral value, while the PDP's Presidential Campaign Council, in a statement, pronounced that whether Obasanjo likes it or not, Atiku will be president in his lifetime. Let's take some tweets. Well, this is from author and activist Reno Omokri, who wrote, "President Obasanjo is a good-hearted man. He has always wanted a president from the southeast or close to the southeast as a way to heal the civil war wounds. In 2007, he wanted Peter Odili, but Yar'Adua insisted on Governor Jonathan as VP. What OBJ did won't affect the election." Hashtag Table Shaker. Development. The People's Democratic Party has asked the governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, to apologize to Atiku Abubakar for allegedly telling unsubstantiated tales about the 2003 presidential election. The Rivers State governor had over the weekend said Nigeria's former president Olusegun Obasanjo went down on his knees and begged Atiku Abubakar to allow him to run for a second term, adding that Atiku agreed, but on the grounds that he must remove the late Tony Anehi, a former minister of works and a PDP chieftain, from the campaign council at the time. Let's take a listen before we come back for a discussion.
In 2002 and 2003, when President Olusegun Obasanjo wanted to run for second tenure, a Hope president wanted to run for a second term, he knelt down before his vice. He knelt down before his vice presidential candidate, the vice president, and said, "My vice, please allow me to run." You know the condition he gave him? One of the conditions, you know what he gave him? Tony Anini must be sacked as Minister of Works. And Tony Anini must not be the President Campaign Council. Obasanjo obliged and sacked Tony Anini as Minister of Works. And removed him from President Council and brought him back to South. This one, we are not even doing that. We are not saying, sack this one, give for the... No. We are only saying, by the constitution of our party, by what the national chairman said, and by what you told me in my house when you came to see me. Now you have gotten the president. We are not fighting about it. We say you have taken, we don't want to fight. Okay, give us the national chairman. And you say, no, we will not listen to you. Don't give us condition. Something that is touching on the foundation of the unity of a country.
Now, Dr. Bati, this has generated a lot of reactions on social media. I'd like your take on this particular topic before we talk about
Well, I saw Governor Wike, since he lost the presidential primaries and he was not chosen as a vice presidential candidate running mate to Atiku, there have been many tales. He and his supporters have been claiming that they are fighting on the basis of equity, fairness, and justice. Namely, that the chairman of the party cannot come from the north and the presidential candidate at the same time. But the party claims that it has since moved on. The party has passed a vote of confidence on Senator Iyorchia Ayu. But Wike and co and gang, the rebellious gang, the rebellious wing of the People's Democratic Party, they insist that they will make an earth-shaking announcement in January. We're waiting for that, what that earth-shaking announcement will be. But of course, as I have pointed out on this program, Wike is that as a prominent Nigerian, as statesman, as two-time head of state, he probably, has a strong opinion. But how many people will follow his opinion? That remains to be seen. The second thing, of course, is that, look, this election is so important. People have the right, under the Constitution, he has the right to make his own choice. And if he says it's Peter Obi that he has endorsed, I don't think he should be insulted because of that. It is his choice. After all, the other day, Chief Atoize said he was opposed to Peter Obi. Now, President Obasanjo is saying, he thinks that Peter Obi has an edge. So you have people who will endorse, you have people who will reject. But the voter should be informed. You make your own choice. The President Obasanjo doesn't have more rights than you.
Yeah.
Despite his prominence and his, role in Nigerian history. But he says some other even far-reaching things beyond the choice. His assessment of the Buhari administration. He thinks that the Buhari administration has imposed distress on Nigeria. He thinks that the Buhari administration has imposed hell on earth on Nigerians. And he says the young people of Nigeria should look for that leader who can make a difference, who can move this country forward. So I don't think we should just focus on the sensational part.
Yeah.
He has endorsed Peter Obi, and he said he does not believe in Emilokoism. Or it is my turn, or I've been there before. He says this election should be about we and us,
Well said, Dr.
not about Emilokoism or I, me, myself,
And I.
and I.
All right, Ayo, what do you make of that picture that Wike, painted of Obasanjo going down on his knees to, beg Atiku Abubakar to allow him run for a second term? A lot of people have disclaimed it, like the PDP are saying that he should apologize. I'd like your particular thought on that.
Yes, thank you. So, Governor Nyesom Wike is known for his big word. He makes shocking statements. Sometimes they want to off his mic. Politicians are quick to say that, why would you do that? You're meant to be one of us. I mean, when he talks about the 13% derivatives by the governor, asking people by the oil-producing state governors and how they hadn't declared, and he declared just off the cuff when was inaugurating a bridge. And now he's talking about what must have transpired or what might have transpired in 2002 and 2003. History would say that at that time, I mean, the PDP Board of Trustees chairman, Chief Tony Aneni, didn't resign until about 2015. So it's interesting the time lapse between the time when this conversation was meant to have happened and when the resignation actually happened. Truth is that, as Mr. Frank Schreib, the special assistant to the PDP candidate, said that unfortunately Chief Tony Aneni is not here to defend himself. Yes. So we cannot, except for there was an independent observer. The only person that we can look forward to a rejoinder or to confirm or deny this fact is President Olusegun Obasanjo himself. Unfortunately, he didn't include it in the letter from yesterday, so he didn't quite address that. It would be worthy of note to understand the importance, why he brought it up in conversation. As Dr. Bati said, was it so that he's now the Obasanjo in this case, whereby they were agitating for a removal of one person as the key to securing his presidential ambition. And that's almost the same thing that they're asking, President in waiting or presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to do. Very important points here. But also, I want to just say one thing quickly about President Obasanjo's letter, because the focus from politicians, obviously, is on the fact that he's endorsing one candidate. However, he also made many salient points, particularly speaking to the young people of Nigerians. He reminded young people that politics is a game of numbers, and we must not, in all that's happening around in the political world, forget that you have the numbers as young people. Beyond complaining, beyond an agitation for a new Nigeria, is that you must exercise the power of your numbers by getting your PVCs and voting. The power lies with you. Please don't let anyone deceive you otherwise. Go out there. He's giving the criteria for voting in a president. Whomever your choice is, make that choice and ensure you take ownership of your Nigeria.
Very well.